Hi and welcome back to my channel. So I'm super excited about today's coaching video because today I'm going to be sharing 8 reasons why your worst enemy is you. And you might be thinking, who, me? She ain't talking to me. No, I am talking to you. So we're going to just jump right on in. So number 1, you fail to manage your expectations, right? It's good to expect a lot of yourself. Great to forecast good things coming your way. However, if you walk into every situation with an expectation to gain the most out of it, you're going to almost always come out of it feeling unfulfilled. Make sure that you set realistic goals for yourself. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Understand that you don't control things outside of your sphere. And too many times we try to control everything. And I know that because I used to be one of those people where I wanted to control everything. And I had to realize that I can't control things that are outside of my ability to control. Number 2, you fail to appreciate the small things. When you begin to appreciate every little thing before your eyes on a day-to-day basis, you'll undoubtedly feel enriched. The trick is to keep up with it, as concerns or problems will always bog down our mind and distract your attention. This becomes especially important in the context of our own success. If we fail to appreciate the small things that we accomplish, then we'll begin to lose a sense of self-respect. So always appreciate I appreciate the small things. I appreciate the smallest of small things. I just am always appreciative. Number 3, you take too much for granted. And we all have done this, right? When you don't take things for granted, you simply squeeze more out of life. We always hear kids in Africa, but do we really take the time to stop and think of how privileged we may be in the midst of our complaining? See, I've learned that whenever I'm complaining, somebody else has it worse than I have it. So I will immediately catch myself and stop. Whether it's our health, our abilities, the love from friends and family, our hobbies, our freedom from outright tyranny or warlike conditions, we all have something that we can truly be grateful for. And let me give you something. If you can't think of anything, you ought to be grateful that you woke up this morning. You ought to be grateful that you have the ability to see and hear this video right now, because somebody woke up this morning without the ability to see or to hear. Somebody didn't wake up at all. So we need to be grateful for everything. Number 4, you are your own worst critic. And we all are. We all have done this. If you tend to judge yourself too much, you effectively hold yourself back. If you sell yourself short, you'll never experience the full value of your potential. Get to know this voice that criticizes you. Try to understand where it comes from and why it is that you listen to it. Don't beat yourself up over every mistake. And again, we all have done that. We all have beat ourselves up over something that was small. And sometimes it may not have necessarily been small, but you go, man, why did I do that? Why did I say that? Why did I go there? Stop doing that. Consistently over-criticizing yourself will hold you back, hamper your confidence, and make you dwell on things that may not even really matter. See, sometimes you have to catch yourself because you'll dwell on those things that don't matter at all. They matter to you, but not to other people. Number 5, you overanalyze. Now, I have to admit, this is me. I am an overanalyzer all the time, and I'm trying my best not to. I can listen to a song on the radio, and I will overanalyze that, and I'll say, well, like Rihanna's song, and she's talking about this man beating her black and blue, but she can't get enough. So one day we were in the car, and I'm breaking this song down. And Frankie looks at me. He says, Michelle, you realize this is just a song, right? I said, yeah, I know. But I overanalyze things. I try not to, but I do. So another characteristic of human nature, we overthink absolutely everything. We can go around in circles contemplating solutions that aren't necessary, relying on assumptions that are ultimately false. There's a struggle between our mind and our instinct, our brain and our heart. We come up with an initial answer to a problem, then overcomplicate the matter and do a complete 180. But it's good to think things through, is it not? And I think it is good to think things through. To avoid unnecessary overthinking, trust your instincts, break problems down, and don't put too much emphasis on idealizing all the potential implications of every decision, when a simple pro-con list may just suffice. Ensure that you're not basing decisions upon misled or faulty assumptions. Our mind will mistakenly fill in certain blanks to ascertain a desirable answer. Number 6, you prefer the easy way. Shortcuts are a way of life, and though may not be a necessary time saver, they detract from our sense of working towards something, earning it. Your inner enemy holds you back. If you never go the extra mile, you'll never experience the extra rewards that may come as a result. You can't expect full results when using only half the effort. And this is so true, you guys. So I want you to really listen to this. It's in our nature to avoid inconveniences, but oftentimes they're called for. Sometimes you have to go through the struggle to really benefit from the outcome. Does that make sense? See, because sometimes we want things to be easy, but if we didn't have to struggle to get there, once you get there, you're kind of like, oh, well, I'm here, so now what? So it's all right to have a little struggle in life, because that struggle is going to make you a whole lot better. Number 7, you assume, and this is something that we all do, right? Projecting certain assumptions onto certain situations can be disastrous, and we know that. Our brain works to fill in the gaps however it can, forming answers on faulty presumptions if necessary. To prevent this, you have to understand your train of thought. Don't place your own standards on others, moral or otherwise, as everyone is different and thinks a different way. Rely on valid facts, not just assumptions, before deciding on a particular course of action. Understand that you may not know the full story behind everything that you're involved in. Many times we must rely on nothing but an assumption. Just don't invest too much into the outcome when you're dealing with unknown circumstances. And like I said, we all make assumptions. Some of y'all got up this morning and you made an assumption. Some of you assumed something last night. Turned out it wasn't even what you thought. Number 8, you doubt yourself. This is huge. I can't tell you how many people I've talked to just in the last month that doubt themselves. Oftentimes, self-doubt may just be an unwillingness to do something. Under no circumstances should you ever doubt yourself. When it comes to your potential, realize that the sky is the limit, y'all. Use your sense of realism to evaluate the consequences of your action. Don't just assume that your action will have unfavorable consequences. And I say that, and I want you to start that today. You notice I didn't say next week, next month, or next year. Start today to stop doubting yourself. You know how frustrating it is when you talk to someone and they say, I think I'm going to do XYZ. And then just that quick, they go from positively saying, I'm going to do XYZ to, well, I don't know. Because maybe the people won't come out. Maybe they won't enjoy it. Maybe this, maybe that. Stop doubting yourself. If you decide you're going to do something, step out there and do it. Stop doubting yourself. If it doesn't work out, guess what? You just go sit down, put pen to paper, figure out what worked, what didn't work, and how you can make it better. But stop doubting yourself. See, because at the end of the day, you can't doubt yourself and expect other people to believe in you, because that's not how it works. You doubt yourself, I'm probably going to doubt right along with you. So here's your bonus, because y'all know I love to give bonuses. So be aware of your inner enemy. Understand the ways that it tries to hold you back and lead you the wrong way. Constant awareness will shine a light on everything. And here is my quote for the day. The unseen enemy is always the most fearsome. And this quote is by George R.R. Martin. So let's do a quick recap, and then I promise I will let you be. So we talked about 8 reasons why your worst enemy is you. Number 1, you fail to manage your expectations. Number 2, you fail to appreciate the small things. Number 3, you take too much for granted. Number 4, you are your own worst critic. Number 5, you overanalyze. Number 6, you prefer the easy way. Number 7, you assume. And number 8, you doubt yourself. And the bonus that I gave you was be aware of your inner enemy, and you've got to be aware of that. And here's the thing, I think it happens and we're not really conscious of it happening. But you know how you go and you do something, or you say, oh, I'll volunteer to do that. And then that inner voice says, Michelle, why did you volunteer to do that? Now, you don't know anything about that. You've never done that before. And this voice just starts to drill down all of the things that you don't know, or whatever the negative self-talk is. And you've got to get away from doing that, y'all. I'm trying to tell you, because all it does is cause you to think and say, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. So stop doing that. Understand the ways that it tries to hold you back and lead you and lead you the wrong way. Constant awareness will shine a light on everything. And then the quote that I gave you was, the unseen enemy is always the most fearsome, by George R.R. Martin. So those have been your 8 tips on why you are your own worst enemy. So I want you to think, this is your assignment for the week. This is your assignment for the week. I want you to think back to a time when being your worst enemy caused you to miss out on something. Because see, that's the other part to it. Sometimes being your worst enemy will cause you to miss out on some great opportunities in life because you wanted to do it, but then that negative self-talk got in your head and said, no, you're not ready. You're not qualified. You don't have the right degrees. Or, you don't have certain life problems, or whatever it is, whatever that thing is. But all of that self-doubt and negative self-talk starts to come into play, and then you've talked yourself right on out of it. And at the end of the day, it's probably something that you were very much so qualified to do. So you have it. Those are your 8 reasons, and I want you to work on stop being your own worst enemy. And if, as always, if you need some help on doing that, as a life coach, I can certainly help you with that. Get in contact with me, and we can sit down and create your plan on how that we can, get you going in the right direction, get rid of all that negative self-talk, because it doesn't do anybody any good, certainly not you. So that's all I have for you for today. Thank you so much to my newest subscribers. I am always excited and truly appreciative when I get new subscribers, because I know you didn't have to do it. So thank you so much for giving me a little bit of your time. And like I said, I hope this video really resonates with you. And if it doesn't, please feel free to share it with somebody that you know is their own worst enemy, because we can only get better when we have the tools to do it. So until our next video, I love you guys to the moon and back, and we will talk again soon.